I think
Why?
I auditioned for I auditioned for some troupe in LA, like one of those TV shows, not Frank TV. Frank put me on. This was like something from the WB, and I think I went to producers because I passed the first test. That was brutal, brutal. I knew they were
What?
going to throw a curveball at me
And
because
what do they do?
they went from sketches to give us your best character, give us your weakest character. Come on, you can't drop that on me on audition. I think I played like Lenny the Bookie and Marty the Butcher, and I walked out of there, ripped up the fucking sides, and went to my car and cried for like an hour because I thought I was going to fucking nail this. That's a disappointment, but who gives a fuck? It's a learning experience. They always going to throw a curveball at you. And look at the show went nowhere. So who gives a Frenchman's fuck?
How long did it take you to get better at getting over that stuff?
Getting over what?
Like disappointment, like if something didn't go well, you didn't get the audition, you didn't do well in front of the booker.
Comedy wise or television film wise?
Either one, both. I'd be interested in both.
As a comic, there's nothing worse than when a club owner tells you he doesn't want you there or you're not his cup of tea. Meanwhile, you're picking up 20 clubs from a booker, but the one that bothers you the most is this guy. And he's probably got like 2 clubs. You really liked him, but now he's telling you had a good weekend, you thought, until he
Mhm.
dropped a fucking bomb on you. And you know what's crazy? You try to keep going back, and one day you give up. And 5 years from then, you realize that when the night after the second show, the waitress you were talking to, he was banging on the side. He didn't like that you were talking to her. Not even that you were fucking hitting on her, Lee, because you would never hit on her. But that's what you find out. You go, that's why I didn't go back there, because the waitress
Wow.
came to the green room and talked to me, and we smoked a half a number with the other comic. So you never know. You can't trip on that. And then guess what? One day, boom, you get a movie, you're on a TV show. Now they put you out. The agency start putting you out. And guess where your first stop is?
That club?
Yep. And all of a sudden he's at the door. How you doing? Great to see I always knew you were going to be a star. They just, listen, at that time, they didn't like a lot of Jewish protests in town. So whatever the fucking shit he would say to you. But now you're selling tickets.
Right, yeah.
He forgot about that girl. She's not there anymore. He's on to the next waitress, and everything is forgotten just like that. And you realize what comedy's all about. That if you're selling tickets, they don't give a fuck if you light your asshole on fire. As long as people in the chairs and they drink their 2 minimum and they get an order of wings and they get diarrhea and they get the fuck out of there. That just goes to show you. It's like anything else in that industry, it doesn't fucking matter. You know, you can do whatever you want. The bottom line is motherfucking pay-per-views. I'm
Right.
not about, oh, I went roller skating and got 3 million pay-per-views. That's great. Look at what McGregor's doing and all these. They just released the numbers. I look at those pay-per-views and I go, there's a lot of money out there.
Yeah.
Somebody's spending a lot of fucking money out there. And whatever, God bless them. I'm not, I love all that shit. But it's just insane how many people worldwide get those things. It's very enlightening. So and that's it, brother. You've been writing anything or what?
Comedy-wise?
No, Shakespeare wise. Yeah, fucking comedy wise.
Yeah, you know what, I wanted to ask you a quick question. Have
Hit
you
me.
ever said a line in conversation that just was like you weren't trying to like it was just something you said that you turned into a joke?
Yes.
And does it usually work? Like it was crazy. Like it just happened last night, so I wrote it down. I'm excited to try it.
It was a Sunday afternoon. Doug Stanhope had taken me into his home. He had a girlfriend at the time, and I would always leave in the mornings. I would take a walk around town, apply for different stupid jobs, get a hot dog on. There was a little Korean lady down there that made pretty good fried hot dogs. And I don't know what happened. I get back to his house. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Wide awake. The girlfriend's there. The neighbor's in there. I don't think Ralphie May's mom lived next door yet. And I'm in there and I'm a little fired up. You know, it's 1 in the afternoon. I think I got a showcase at the store. I don't know what the situation was. And he's talking about something. And he says something about trannies. You know, Doug Stanhope was raw then. Because at that time, Doug Stanhope lived 2-3 blocks away from where there was like a thing with transgender people, transvestites, whatever. They want to be called transgenders, and that's fine. So, you know, something happened, and off the cuff, I go, Doug, what do you give a fuck about? You punch him in the head when they call the cops, when the cops show up, who are you gonna believe? You or some dude or a wig with a black eye, a guy with a wig and a black eye. Dog, it just came out of me. I remember Stanhope just stopping and going, "You're doing that tonight in your fucking act." And I'm like, "No." He's like, "You got to do that joke in your act. If not, I'm taking it. Make sure you do it tonight." And he actually went to the store and made sure I did it. Got an okay thing. And then I just started using it on stage. I learned how to use it. It took me maybe a month to figure out how to use it. And years later, Rogan was doing it, telling people about that joke.
That's
Don't
crazy.
yeah, same joke that what's you gonna do? What are you gonna do when the cops show up? What are they gonna believe? You or some dude with a wig and a black eye. Horrible joke, but you know what? I had 10 of those. You know that. You were in the car with me. How many times did we go for a ride and we died of laughter? And 2 days later, we're talking about it on stage and it's kind of working. And then we try it again. And you were there. You saw the development of this is what we were talking about in the beginning of the podcast. Tapping into that. That's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear the stupidity. Chrysler went back to work. He acted. No, I got a job. No, they don't want to hear that shit. They want to hear that shit. They want to hear that shit you tell yourself after you smoke a number and you're in the shower. And you're in the shower thinking the most craziest stuff about fucking, you know. And you come out of there and you're like, you know what? This might rub people the wrong way. Let me write this down. My journey is to figure out how to deliver this and for them fucking to understand what I'm saying. May take 2 weeks, it may take 2 years. Like I mentioned before, you might say something, you might giggle your ass off, and one other person might giggle their ass off, but you can't say it. You bring that joke back 5, 6 years later when you have a little bit more confidence, like Bill Burr, that confidence he brings up there, and all of a sudden, bam, the joke works now in front of fucking 18,000 people. I love you, cocksucker. I got to take 2 steps to the rear and get out of here. It's Monday Night Football.
I love you, buddy. It was great to see you.